Hey guys, Farm Manager Nate over here, Rooted Ag, out here with Dakota, and wanted to do just a quick video or conversation. Just wrapped up a little heated debate with our neighbor about our usage of rural water for the cattle in the winter as opposed to using ponds. And his big point was, well, you guys are having to pay each month for that, where if you just use the ponds, there's no fee or there's no cost to that. And we kind of wanted to just have a little discussion of what we think the benefits are to doing it this way versus using ponds. One is, you can see in here, they're getting really good, clean, clear water. That's important to us, so you can see.
Tastes good.
Would you do that? Would you do that with the pond water, Dakota?
I would not do that with the pond water unless I wanted some kind of a tapeworm.
Okay, so see, that's one thing is the quality there. Second would be that I really like, and we can't see it here because we don't have it because I broke it, but normally we have two tanks set up, and one has a saltwater brine that Steve Campbell is famous for, that we've been trying to implement to help get more minerals into the cattle. So if we're using ponds, that's something that we don't have an option with of doing. But so we are fans and believers that even if you have to pay for it, the benefits of what you've got outweigh the cost. Another thing too is, because we're watering right here, right off the road, it's a lot easier access. So even if we have to break ice on these tanks, it's a lot quicker process than having to take an axe or a chainsaw and venture all the way out into there and to cut ice and yank it out or try to push it under. And also it helps us from pond erosion and tearing up the banks.
A few thoughts that I had while Nate was talking. One is, we have had some challenges, some learning curves, you might say, to this watering system this winter. You can almost hear me bucking through it, which you're going to have that anywhere. That's not really a learning curve. But one thing we have learned is we did have probably more expense in it than what we could have if we'd done this thing perfectly. But this is our first year wintering and with this kind of water system. So, the goal is that, we'll kind of have worked out a lot of the kinks looking back on this year, going into next year, if we have to water them here. Which brings me to kind of the next point, which is the reason we watered them on this system. Years prior, in the other pasture that you don't see to the north of me here, is it has a permanent watering system in it. So, I believe, what is the name of that water that you've got out there, Nate?
Cobit
water system. So pretty easy to go to. It takes no time at all to check water sources in the winter when they're on that. But that pasture was in dire need of some improvement. Its go-back pasture is a farm that was cropped for several years, and been bailing rolling on that in the winter months, just trying to kind of build the organic matter back up on the farm. That said, it's kind of a slow process, and we're trying to find ways to build that organic matter even quicker. And so one way we're going to do this year is we actually seeded grazing on that in the spring, waiting to get a stand right now. So that's kind of something that we're looking forward to. But that said, the reason we're out here wintering is we really need to keep the cattle off of that. We're waiting on that to germinate and seed. So that's just a couple of things we wanted to talk about, which kind of broader is we're trying to measure what is like the true opportunity